Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. We are on to the 6th lecture on thermodynamics, and in today's video we will be talking about enthalpy. In the previous session we have considered internal energy. Okay, now both are to some extent related, but let's first understand the definition. Enthalpy. The symbol we write down as H. And if we have to define enthalpy, we'll define it as the total heat content of a system at the constant pressure. At constant pressure. Like in the internal energy we have discussed, suppose you have some system. In the beginning I have not drawn anything. Now I am just considering one system here. And in that system there are a number of molecules. And these molecules are moving in all directions. There are intermolecular forces of attraction. So the sum of all the kinetic and the potential energy will contribute to the internal energy of the system. Now internal energy of the system plus what is the pressure and the volume condition required to establish this system. Okay, so what is the pressure and the volume conditions which are required to establish the system, that is PV, plus the internal energy. The sum of everything is now called enthalpy. So that is why we call this as the total heat content of the system. Right? The units of enthalpy, same like energy units, kilojoules per mole, can be joule per mole, can be given in calories, depends whatever units we are considering. Okay. The next thing is, like internal energy, the absolute value of enthalpy cannot be calculated. You cannot calculate the absolute value because the internal energy E is because of this sum of the electron, protons and atoms, ions, molecules energy sum. So because those small energy forms we will not be able to calculate accurately, even for enthalpy we say the absolute value we will not be able to determine. It is only the change we can determine. We can only calculate the change in the internally. Change in internal energy means we can only say delta H. So delta H we can write down as the enthalpy final minus enthalpy initial. That means the change we can calculate. Right? So if we apply that change part to that formula which we wrote here, that is H is equal to E plus PV, we can write down now the formula as delta H is equal to delta E, or delta U also is fine. Internal energy can also be written as delta U plus delta PV plus delta PV. Now you can open this bracket and we can write down one case where the pressure is kept constant, another case where the volume is kept constant. So we can write down, first let me write down at constant pressure. At constant pressure. So the formula will become delta H is equal to delta E plus P delta V. In this case, the pressure is kept constant, the volume is changing. Or if we are writing at constant volume, it will become delta H is equal to delta E plus V delta P. V delta P. But one thing you need to keep in mind, that most of the reactions take place at constant pressure. Most of the reactions, they occur at the constant pressure. So this is the formula normally we will be talking about. Delta H is equal to delta E plus P delta V. In case you find that both are changing, in case you find both pressure, volume are changing, then you will write down the formula as both change form. That is, you will write down the formula then as delta H is equal to delta E plus, let the pressure, volume be P1, V1 and P2, V2. So the difference we will write down as P2, V2 minus P1, V1. This is the case in case both are changing. Normally we say that we carry out the reactions at the constant pressure. So this is the formula we use. Delta H is delta E plus P delta V. Fine. Now, another important thing here is, if we are talking about gases, then we can make use of ideal gas equation, that is equal to PV is equal to nRT. For the ideal, for the gases, we can use for ideal gases PV is equal to nRT. So instead of this delta PV, we can write down delta nRT. Okay, now we may write like that. Let me write down the first form as this only. Delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N outside the bracket, and nRT I am writing it inside. Now among this number of moles R and T, you know R is constant, it's universal gas constant. We know the values in ergs, joules and calories. Temperature as for the system, I told you, for any system the conditions for the existence, we will also normally keep, the temperature constant. Most of the time, as I said here, the pressure is kept constant for many of the reactions. So we also say there are two main things. We carry out the reactions mainly at constant temperature and pressure. So if that is the case, R and T are not variable. We can bring them, out. That is not a change then. That is not a change. So we can just modify the same formula as delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N. Here we write down G. That is, I'll explain it, and RT here. Now what is this delta NG? Delta NG means delta N is equal to, that is delta NG is equal to number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. We always consider products and the reactants gases. Number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. So this is the formula we will be using for delta HE. Okay. So in case number of moles are given, then internal energy is to be calculated or enthalpy is to be calculated, we will make use of this formula. So majorly I told you two formulas here. One is this formula, delta H is equal to delta E plus P delta V. Another formula which I told you is delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N GRT. G means number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. Clear? Now moving on to another formula. In the previous video we have discussed first law of thermodynamics. We know as per first law of thermodynamics we write down delta U or E is equal to delta Q plus delta W. Yes, that is the heat and the work, that sum is equal to the change in the internal energy. Yes, so in case we write the change at constant pressure, if we are measuring the thing at the constant pressure, then instead of Q we will write this as delta QP plus this thing we can write down that work as P external delta V. That formula also we have done. Work done is equal to minus P external delta V. If we measure at the constant pressure, we can make those changes. Instead of delta Q, we can write QP, and instead of the work done, we can write down as P external delta V. That is equal to delta U. Right, now I'm just making some changes in the bringing it on the left hand side. We will get it as delta QP. It is equal to delta U. Bring it on the left, it will become plus P external delta V. Yes, what is this? Delta QP. That is the heat change taking place at constant pressure. Heat change taking place at the constant pressure is nothing but delta H. That is a change in the enthalpy. So we can have the same formula with this also. Delta H is equal to delta U plus P external delta V. This is the formula which we wrote here in the beginning. We wrote it here. Yes, the same formula we are able to get from the first law of the thermodynamics also. Yes, this is a very important statement. Please note this down. The heat change taking place at constant pressure is the change in enthalpy. Please write down heat change taking place at constant pressure. At constant pressure is nothing but delta H. So QP is equal to delta H. We will be using this in the numerical. Now, another important thing. You remember in the last, video we have discussed that about first law. Oh, okay, yes, this formula. We have written this formula. Now let us write down the same thing again. Now delta U is equal to delta Q plus delta W. We wrote this formula, right? Now we will open this and write down the thing. Here we wrote as constant pressure. Suppose now we calculate at the constant volume. We want to calculate at the constant volume. If it is at constant volume, what we will write instead of QP? We will write QP. Here we wrote for constant pressure. We will now write it as QV. That is the heat change taking place at the constant volume. And for work, we can always write P external delta V. P external delta V. This is what? Delta U. I already told you constant pressure. Constant pressure means the change in the volume is 0. Change in the volume is 0 means this term becomes 0. So what are we left with? Delta U is equal to delta QV. That means now we are saying the heat change taking place at the constant volume. At the constant volume is delta U. These are the two important statements, very important statements. One, heat change taking place at constant pressure is delta H, and the heat change taking place at the constant volume is delta U. Got it? Now, as we did in the internal energy, we are doing here also that enthalpy is also a state function. That means it is only dependent upon initial and the final states, not on the path followed. Not on the path followed like earlier we discussed. Suppose from here, this point to this point. From point A to point B, we are moving by this path or by this path. The change in the internal energy will be same. Delta H will be same. It is not dependent upon the path, whether by first part or the second part. Or in case you are starting from here and you move and again come back to the same point, that means for the cyclic process, you will have delta H always equal to 0. For a cyclic process, delta H is always equal to 0. Even another point you have is that enthalpy is an extensive property. We know that extensive property is that which is dependent upon the amount of the substance. It is dependent upon the amount. Increase the amount, the property also will increase. Now moving on to another formula. This formula we have studied that Q is equal to N C delta T, where N stands for the moles. And this we know it is molar specific heat capacity. For this also video is already posted. You can check there. And this is the temperature change. Now if the heat change is measured at the constant pressure, instead of Q we can write down QP. And we can make the changes here N. This also we can write down CP and delta T. And this we wrote just now, the heat change taking place at the constant pressure is also written as delta H. Right? This is also delta H, which can be written as equal to N CP delta T. N CP delta T. So this is another formula we got it. Something like delta U. In the previous video we have written like this. Delta U is equal to N CV delta T. And of course if the changes are small, instead of delta we can write down the same formula as D. In differential form, delta DH is equal to N CP dt. Right, same way you can have for the internal energy also. Du is equal to N CV delta dt. In terms of the differential form you can write. Where we can calculate CP like we wrote what was CV. CV was F divided by 2 into R. We can write down CP as equal to F by 2 plus 1 into R. What was CV we wrote here? CV in the previous video, please check there. This is the CV value. Right, where what is F? Degrees of freedom. R is universal gas constant And for the gases, you can have for monoatomic gases, for diatomic gases, for polyatomic gases, the F values are 3, 5 and 6 respectively. You can just put those values and calculate what will be the Cp value. So Cp can be substituted here and calculate the delta H based upon what is asked in the question. Fine. Now moving on to the relations between delta H and delta E based upon the formula delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N gas RT and GRT. Suppose you are asked to write down a relation. You may have some numericals where enthalpy is given and thermal energy to be calculated or vice versa. So here you have to just calculate the delta N value, check what the temperature is given, and the R value will be on the basis of what units you expect for delta H or delta E. So in case just in terms of delta N we have to write down, you can check it. Number of moles of the products are 2 and the reactants are 4. So you will have delta N as -2. So you will have a relation as delta H is equal to delta E minus 2 RT in this case. And in this case it is -2 RT. At times they ask find a relation between delta H minus delta E. This difference they ask you to calculate. So that will be equal to, if the difference they are asking, this will be on the left hand side. It will be minus only, right? So that is equal to -2 RT. So whatever they ask, based upon that you can use the relation. Same way for this one, delta N comes out to be 1, -1, 2 and this is 3 reactants. So you will have delta H is equal to delta E minus 1 RT, so minus RT. In this case, this is solid, this is solid. This is only gas, there is only one reactant. So the delta N value is 1 only. So you will have delta H is equal to delta E plus RT. In this case also it is 1. So you will have the same formula for this one also. Right? Now, you can form a relation something like this, in case you have delta N positive, Ng of course, we are talking about the gases, the difference. What was delta N? I hope you remember that. This is equal to the number of the moles of the gaseous products minus number of the moles of the gaseous reactant. That difference is delta N. So if delta N is positive, delta N is in the formula, this formula we are talking about. Delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N GRT. Okay. So if delta N is positive, this value is positive, means you are adding something to E to make it equal to H. That means in this case we can say delta H is greater than delta E. If you have delta N negative, you will have reverse. Delta H will be less than delta E. If you have delta Ng 0, then you will have delta H is equal to E. Means the enthalpy change will be equal to the internal energy change in this case. Clear? Now suppose you are given a question, calculate the difference of H and E for the combustion of benzene at 25 degrees Celsius. For that you need to write down the equation first. Benzene combustion equation, benzene is C6H6, physical state liquid. Combustion means reacting with oxygen, and any hydrocarbon on burning always forms carbon dioxide plus water. This is in the gas state, this is also in the gas phase, this is in the gas phase. You need to balance equation to check the coefficients, right? So when you balance it, you'll get 2 here, this will be 15, this will be 12 and 6. I think it is fine. Just check it. This is 30, 24 and 6. Carbon is 12. Yes, it's correct. Balanced. So the difference they are asking you, delta H minus delta E is equal to delta N G R T. Right? So in case you are asked to calculate the answer in calories, then delta N, let us see what it is. This is 18, the product side, and this is 15, this is liquid. So 3. So 3 you will have. Yes. So 3, and then R value, if you are using in calories, it will be 2, and the temperature you have to convert into Kelvin. 25 degree plus 273 is 298. Now you have to just be careful. Whatever answer you get, that will be in calories now. Now in case this is given in liquid, at times this is given in liquid, then accordingly the number of the moles will change. But if I give you this in gas, then it will be 3. Right? And whatever is the answer, you can multiply and see. So it comes out to be 1788 calories. Yeah. The next question says, suppose you have an ideal gas and it expands isothermally from 5 liter to 25 liter. Isothermally, and from 5 to 25 liter it is expanding at this temperature. Calculate enthalpy change. You have to calculate the enthalpy change. So what you will do? You will be using the formula delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. Actually volume is changing here, so about pressure they are not talking, so let us use this formula where both are variable. Now one thing for sure, this is isothermal. Isothermal means delta U is 0. For isothermal, for pressure volume, as per Boyle's law you have P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. That means the product of pressure volume is same. Yes, initial and final. That means this is also same. So this is 0. So in this case the answer will be 0. The enthalpy change in this question will be 0. Is this point clear? Yes. So please children, prepare the notes of whatever we have discussed so far. Revise it properly and thank you.